See, this shit that grind my fucking gears. Fat boy, why you getting in these people shit when you look just like fucking 50 mama, nigga?
She looked dead into that camera, and she didn't hold back one single word. What you're about to watch is one of the most unfiltered, chaotic, and honestly hilarious celebrity pileups hip-hop has seen in a long time. It started with a t-shirt, and it exploded into something that nobody, not Rick Ross, not T.I.'s son King Harris, and definitely not the internet was ready for. Stay right here, because this story has layers, and every single one of them is wild. In one corner, Rick Ross, the self-proclaimed biggest boss, a man with a mansion, a car show, a record label, and an obsession with trolling 50 Cent that has lasted over a decade. In another corner, Tia Kemp, Rick Ross's baby mother of his son William Roberts III, a woman who has never, not once, been afraid to say exactly what's on her mind. And on this particular day, her mind was loud. But before we get to Tia Kemp going completely off on Rick Ross on camera, we need to take you back to where this whole thing started. Because nothing about this moment makes sense without understanding the t-shirt that set it all off, and who made it, and why it crossed a line that most people thought was untouchable. King Harris. If you don't know the name, here's the quick version. He is the son of legendary Atlanta rapper T.I., born Clifford Harris, and his wife Tamika Tiny Harris. King has been building his own name in entertainment, making moves on social media and in music, and establishing himself as someone who isn't afraid to speak his mind, much like his father. But this time, the move he made wasn't just bold. It was personal, it was provocative, and it was gonna have consequences. King Harris made a t-shirt. And on that t-shirt, he put the image of 50 Cent's deceased mother, Sabrina Jackson. Now, let's be absolutely clear about who Sabrina Jackson was. She was a woman who passed away in 1988 when 50 Cent, then just Curtis James Jackson III, was only 8 years old. She died tragically, and 50 Cent has spoken about the pain of losing her in interviews throughout his entire career. She is not a public figure. She is not fair game. She is a man's dead mother, and King Harris put her face on a t-shirt. The internet reacted immediately. Some people called it a creative flex. Others called it one of the most disrespectful moves in hip-hop in years. Critics pointed out that going after someone's deceased parent, a woman who had nothing to do with any rap beef, any business dispute, or any personal conflict, crossed a line that even the most heated rap rivalries rarely touch. 50 Cent, for his part, is well known for absorbing disrespect and coming back harder and more calculated than anyone expects. So the question on everyone's mind was simple. How long before he responds? And who else was going to try to pile on before he did? That question was answered almost immediately because Rick Ross, 50 Cent's most famous and most relentless rival, saw his moment. According to widely circulated reports and social media screenshots, Ross jumped into King Harris's comments on Instagram and told him he was going to need that shirt too. He wasn't just co-signing the disrespect, he was asking to participate in it. He wanted a 3XL and he was proud of it. And then because Rick Ross apparently decided half a move wasn't enough, he actually got the shirt and posted with it. And that is when the real chaos began. Now, before we play you the clip that broke the internet, you need to understand exactly who Tia Kemp is and why her opinion in this situation carries so much weight. Tia Kemp is not just a celebrity baby mama. She is one of the most outspoken, unfiltered, and quotable personalities connected to this entire world of hip-hop drama. She has been in the public eye for years, specifically because of her very complicated history with Rick Ross and her very clear, very consistent, and very loud alignment with 50 Cent whenever it comes to anything involving Ross. Here is what you need to know. Tia Kemp and Rick Ross share a son together, William Roberts III. Their relationship has been publicly contentious for years, with Tia frequently taking to social media and live streams to air grievances about child support, co-parenting, and Rick Ross's public behavior. She has previously called out Ross for using 50 Cent's name to promote his car show and generate attention. She called out T.I. separately, accusing him of using 50 Cent's name to sell his album. And every single time Rick Ross and 50 Cent's beef gets reignited, Tia Kemp shows up in the conversation, and she is never on Ross's side. Okay? Let's slow it all the way down. because there is a lot happening in that clip and you need to appreciate every single layer of it. First, Tia Kemp went directly at Rick Ross for inserting himself into King Harris's post about 50 Cent's deceased mother. She wasn't subtle. She wasn't diplomatic. She told him to his face, or rather to his camera, that he looks like 50 Cent's mother himself. That is a level of read that requires preparation. Second, she brought up the car. She referenced a situation involving her car being allegedly stolen, involving someone named Freddie, which has been a separately circulating grievance. Third, and this is the part that made everyone's jaws drop, she said that Ross's mother called her recently, and she threatened to post the call. She claimed that Ross's own mother was making threats about her son's safety and pointing fingers at Tia. That is a nuclear level escalation. To understand why Tia Kemp's response hit so differently than any other celebrity commentary on this situation, you have to go back, way back. Because the history between Tia Kemp and Rick Ross is long, it is messy, and it has been playing out publicly for years. This was never just a baby mama situation. This has been a full-blown public war, and Tia Kemp has never flinched. Here is the thing about Rick Ross and 50 Cent's beef that most people gloss over. It is not random, it is not spontaneous. Every single time Rick Ross needs attention, a car show to sell out, a new album to push, a brand to boost the name Curtis Jackson somehow ends up in the conversation. And Tia Kemp, the woman who has watched this happen from the front row for years, called it out by name. Not once, not twice, repeatedly, consistently, on camera. Tia Kemp has been publicly and consistently on record stating that Ross used 50 Cent's name and image to drive ticket sales and buzz for his car show, arguing that the biggest boss couldn't fill seats on his own, reputation alone, and needed the heat of a 50 Cent connection to generate energy. And now with the t-shirt moment, that same pattern played out again. King Harris creates content involving 50 Cent's deceased mother. The internet explodes. And Rick Ross's first instinct is to jump into the comments and ask for a 3XL, not to create his own moment, not to build his own wave, but to attach himself to someone else's. Think about what that actually looks like from the outside. A grown man, a multi-millionaire, a self-proclaimed boss of hip-hop, sliding into a teenager's Instagram comments, not to mentor, not to offer wisdom, not to check on him, but to ask for a shirt that mocks a dead woman, and then proudly posting himself wearing it. That is not power. Tia Kemp saw it for exactly what it was, and she made sure the entire internet saw it too. Now, here is the part of the story that everyone is watching, because this is not over. Not even close. Rick Ross has not given a direct on-camera response to Tia Kemp. King Harris has not publicly acknowledged her warning. T.I. has not weighed in with a formal statement addressing the t-shirt fallout. And most importantly, 50 Cent has said nothing yet. And if you know anything about how Curtis Jackson operates, the silence is not absence. The silence is preparation. Here is what you need to be watching for in the weeks and months ahead, because the chessboard is still very much in play. First, Rick Ross continues to be active in the music space with his Maybach music group roster and has been making public appearances at events, car shows, and industry functions. Any public statement he makes on a podcast, in an interview, or on social media will be examined through the lens of this moment. Watch for whether he addresses Tia Kemp directly or continues the indirect approach that she already called weak. Second, King Harris is actively building his own brand and entertainment presence. He has made clear through his social media activity that he is not stepping back from public commentary. Whether he responds to Tia Kemp's warning, doubles down on the t-shirt energy, or pivots entirely will tell us a great deal about where his head is at and who is advising him. Third, and this is the one that matters most, 50 Cent has an enormous amount of content in his pipeline. His production company, G-Unit Film and Television, continues to develop projects under his Starz deal, and his Power universe, which includes Power Book 2 Ghost, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, Power Book 4 Force, and BMF, continues to command massive audiences. He has publicly stated he operates as a businessman first. But anyone who has followed his career knows that when he decides something deserves a response, it comes in a form nobody anticipated. And Tia Kemp herself? She is not going anywhere. She has a platform, she has an audience. And she has proven repeatedly that she is willing to say the things that everyone else in this circle is too comfortable or too cautious to say publicly. She promised to post the phone call from Ross's mother. She promised receipts. Whether those surface or not, the threat alone changed the dynamic of this entire situation. Because it turned a one-sided clowning session into something with actual stakes. Something that could escalate from internet drama into documented, recorded, verifiable confrontation. And that is a different kind of story entirely. Here is the real lesson buried inside all of this chaos. Hip-hop has always been about image, about narrative, about who controls the story. Rick Ross built his entire career on a narrative, the biggest boss, the self-made mogul, the untouchable figure from Miami who answers to nobody. And in one Instagram comment, one 3XL t-shirt request, one viral photo, that image cracked. Not because 50 Cent attacked him, not because a rival dropped a diss track, but because a woman who knows him personally, who co-parents his child, who has watched him operate for years, sat down in front of a camera and simply told the truth as she sees it, and the internet believed her. We started this video with a freeze frame of Tia Kemp's face locked in, fired up, saying what needed to be said, and everything that came after that moment only confirmed what she already knew. Now it is your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Was Tia Kemp right? Did Rick Ross embarrass himself? And is King Harris gonna learn from this, or is he gonna double down? We wanna hear from you, and if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, this is your sign. We cover stories like this with full context, verified facts, and zero filler. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because when the next chapter of this story breaks, and it will break, you are going to want to be here first. 50 Cent is still watching. He is still calculating. And when he responds to the t-shirt, to Rick Ross, to all of it, it will not look like what anyone expects. That is who he is. That is exactly what Tia Kemp told you. Stay subscribed, because that day is coming, and this channel will have it covered accurately, completely, and first.